Hello and welcome. I am so glad you're here. I'm Beth, a creator-based coach with CMH Coaching for Life. I'm here today to help you and those you love create a life you feel grounded and at home in. Think of a life where you feel peace, love for those around you, and in a flow with just enough challenge to keep you happy and creating something wonderful. Sounds like magic, but it's not. You can create that life every single day. You can have a life full of love, excitement, hope, and creation. Our mission at CMH Coaching is to flood the earth with light through compassion, mindfulness, and hope. And I'm going to ask a favor of you. If you like what you see and hear today, think of someone you know that would enjoy and benefit from this message. Our mission is to flood the world with compassion, mindfulness, and hope. Share this with them. But for now, this is time just for you. So settle into whatever you're doing and enjoy this time with the girls, where we create that one awesome, amazing, perfect life every one of us is seeking.
You gotta watch your thinking. Watch your thinking. Watch your thinking.
Live on Facebook, I can do it weekly. We are very excited to be here. To the Creator-Based Life, the weekly podcast for CMH Coaching. We empower women of faith to create lives they love, the lives they have always wanted. And you see, I'm here with Jacine in her cool aviators, a business coach, a mom, a grandma, and an avid runner, and Jen DeRuse, coach, a can grow anything gardener who currently has moles. You should ask her about that. And a hypnotherapist. And I'm Beth, a master life coach, an author, and the creator of The Creator-Based Way. Create your one awesome, amazing, perfect life. And this is the last day of our theme, Blessed. Tomorrow is Trick or Treat, and we'll start November. So this week, we're going to talk just a little bit about expansive generosity and how to actually receive. And trick-or-treating is perfect for that, you guys. I can't wait. I just can't tell you. I'm here with my three of my grandkids, and they are 8, 4, and 3. And we're waiting for baby number 4 to arrive. And they are so stoked about trick-or-treat. Like, I have to go as something. That's it. So May's going to be Elsa. You know, Teddy's got his, Luke's got his, but just that whole idea of the ghouls and goblins come to your front porch and they hold out their bag and you give away that candy. And I don't know if you guys have done trick-or-treaters before. I'm sure you have. But what's it like to open the front door and see those sweet faces and drop the candy in the bag? Tell me your experiences. Do you guys trick-or-treat where you live?
Oh my goodness. I haven't done it in years, and we have lived out in the boonies for, well, let's see, 30 years now. So it's, without trick-or-treaters. But I have gone with my grandkids in the neighborhoods, and it's pretty fun and pretty cute to experience that. And
well, it's really unifying for a neighborhood. I mean, the kids go up to the houses that have the lights on and the people are excited to see them. And there's just this really great energetic exchange where they give and the kids receive. And it's just such a happy thing. Jen, do you guys have trick-or-treaters?
No, because we don't have sidewalks where I live, and we don't have a lot of street lights. And so they do a trunk or treat, but no, we don't have trick-or-treaters.
Well, my big kids all grew up in the city. And so we were in a neighborhood and it was a big deal. I mean, all night long, the doorbell rang and all night long. And if we weren't going to be home, one year we hung suckers from our tree. So everybody that came could pull a sucker off the tree because we were going to be gone for something. Yeah. It's just a really, really fun thing to work on. I've loved it. Yeah. But it's just the generosity of it all and the unity in the community that generosity is so remarkable and so expansive, the way it unifies people. So, and it's almost, it seems like a paradox that you get so much from giving away. It's like the backward law of giving away, you actually receive more. Have you experienced that where just by giving, you receive more? Maybe it wasn't Halloween. Maybe it was some other event in your life. But for me, it's always been Halloween or Christmas caroling. That's another one of those door-to-door things. You give away that gift and you receive so much back.
Yeah, I think about when I give, for me, it's my time. And oftentimes when I give away my time, because that is such a precious commodity to me, that I just come away feeling so blessed and so on top of the world and like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. And I feel like I gained so much more by giving a little bit of my time.
Yeah. Well, and I know CMH coaching in our programs, we give scholarships for some of our programs based on need. And I work with a couple of clients right now at no charge. And it's really interesting because I know it's one of my weaknesses to look at my clients that pay and support the business, which is wonderful. But I get so much more, and I probably shouldn't say it out loud, but giving it away just because I want to make somebody feel better, just because I want to share that light with them. So I know, Jen, you've done work pro bono before too. Has that been your experience?
Yeah, that has been my experience. I'm just kind of thinking right now where being a giver, like doing that and giving away something that is I don't say precious, but like it's my time and
it's valuable.
It's valuable.
Yeah.
And seeing it received in different ways, like some of it received very graciously and some of it received like nothing at all. Like,
depending on the receiver.
It's really changed me when I have been on the other end to make sure that individual that is giving me understands that I'm grateful for it. Because they have taken the time to think and possibly inspiration or whatever to think that they wanted to give me something. There must have been a need for me. And whether it was just to be friendly or whatever. And so I'm really trying to be a different receiver in that sense. Because I've been on the other end where because I love to give gifts that when I have figured the individual out, I love to give gifts that are so personalized. And that's not the reason why I give them, but to give something and not have a thank you or not to be able to see them actually enjoy it or understand kind of sucks. It kind of stinks.
Oh, but I got to tell you, okay, so we stopped for lunch in between doctor's appointments today while we were out. And I asked Aubrey if she'd talk with me just a little bit, kind of hone what we wanted to talk about the podcast, and pulled out the notebook, one of the notebooks that you gave us. I got it, you guys, 50-50. So you just have to know Jen is an amazing gift giver. And before U Week, she sent us these U Week baskets, and they had the most amazing little bitty little notebooks. And so I pulled my little notebook out of my purse because they're small enough to carry nicely. And Aubrey says, "Oh my gosh, where'd you get that? I want one." Just wanted you to know. Yeah. And it was fun to be able to share. It was like this multiple thing, and just to be able to tell the story of the delight in the receiving and the delight and the sweetness of giving that all happened again. It's like those little notebooks are going to be the gift that keep on giving, it is really truly a gift to be able to give well.
Oh, thank you. But I just, like I said, I just learned to be a different receiver. And even those things, like, because sometimes we are given things that we're just like, why would they want to give me this? They don't even, but you know what? That's not the reason. The reason is because they felt that they wanted to give a part of them to you. And I'm like, we've got to be a better receiver. better receiver of gifts and that. So I'm really working on that.
And so what do you do in being a better receiver?
I think just showing gratitude and
Yeah.
just, contact, like eye contact them, let them know thank you instead of just like, oh, okay, thanks. And because I got to tell you a story, but then
Okay.
it's like, I also had to learn different ways to give to different people. Okay.
Yes, because everybody's
Oh,
different.
yes.
It's different.
Yes.
So first year of my marriage. So I would love to get like find the funny birthday cards and make sure you give, a birthday card to somebody and all the stuff and everything. I found the perfect birthday card to give to my husband. And we hadn't even been married a year.
Oh,
We got
happy.
married in August, his birthday's in December. And I'm like, oh yay, birthday card. Let me set the scene. We are in the kitchen. And I think I had other things like a cake and things like that for him. So celebrate birthday, woohoo, hand him the birthday card. He opens it up, he reads it, and directly puts it in the trash.
Okay, you guys, this is how not to receive. Just say.
And everything. But I had to learn that my husband is very much, he's got an amazing memory, and he's very much, he knows he has moments. He doesn't need a birthday card, because like I would save them forever. He doesn't need a birthday card to remember the moment, to remember the feelings, and remember the sentiment.
Aww.
And but it's so funny because nowadays, whenever he gets anything, he looks at me, goes, "How long do I have to keep this?" Because he's like so worried. But I know it was hilarious. It's a
Good
joke.
man. To ask though is so sweet.
I know it's a joke
That
in
is
America
sweet.
now. But I learned that I had to learn his style of receiving and his style of stuff.
Yeah.
But man, I never wanted to be on that end again. So
Yeah.
I like the idea of learning someone's style of receiving. I like that a lot.
yeah, so but
That is very cool.
yeah.
Great.
I'm trying to be different because I believe that if you're a better receiver, like even the hard things, like receiving the hard lessons and like that, I think you kind of expand your capacity to receive more. And so I want to receive the good, but it's almost like, am I trusted with even receiving what I perceive to maybe not be the perfect gift or the perfect thing?
Oh,
Well, and
so
even
true.
in, like you said, the lessons, the 50-50, receiving the good and then receiving the other 50 that is a lesson more than the good. It's like when you said you lean into the not so great, but if you're grateful for it, it's so much easier to receive what doesn't feel good.
Yeah. But in the end, it's so important for your growth and learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just
I love where you guys are going with that, because I was remembering back when, early on in our marriage, Mark would send flowers every time he went hunting, and he'd send them to my work, and everybody would ooh and ah and it'd be awesome, but he always sent like rust and reds, and I loved like the pinks and the bright colors, right? And he was always sending me like these manly colors,
the elegant things that he liked. Yeah.
Yes, and they were more sturdy flowers, and I liked the just like the frilly. And so a lot of times I was so ungrateful. I was just like, ew, I don't even want to put this up. It's just like, I don't think it's pretty. And I just was not a very grateful. I didn't have gratitude. Yeah. And instead of, it took me years to get over myself and look at it for really what it was. And that was that he was remembering me and that he wanted to do something special for me. And I think for me, it was just like, oh my gosh, why could I not see that all those years, instead of, oh, why doesn't he get me? Right.
Huh?
Why doesn't he
Yeah, the
get me? I've
gratitude
told him
makes
how
all the
many times.
difference.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because now he sends me more often than not, he'll send me the flowers that I like, which is so weird.
Okay, so
So
that's
help me
one of the
understand that.
steps is yeah, the steps in receiving the creator-based way. The first one is to ask for what you want, right? To know what you want and to actually. So how did you send the message of what
Well,
you really in a way that he could accept it and understand?
I think it was through gratitude because the other times I would be like, oh, yeah, it's really pretty, but I really don't like these colors. My favorite colors are this. Like, so I would
Uh-huh.
tell him what I wanted, and year
Uh-huh.
after year, same thing over and over again. And and then once I finally got it, it was like I never said anything again. And then all of a sudden I'm getting what I want. So
So at some point he understood.
yeah, kind of like I understood, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
never, I quit saying, oh, these are my favorite colors or whatever. I just was in gratitude. And, he would always write the sweetest message along with the flowers. And so anyway, yeah, I thought that was interesting that once maybe he got what he wanted, which was like just full gratitude that
Mhm.
I
He
don't,
could
I
hear
don't,
you then.
yeah, yeah,
Come on, who wants to know that, oh, you gave me a gift, but it's not good enough?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
mean,
gosh,
talk
yes.
about shutting something down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and bless his heart for continuing to send it because I would have just been
Right?
like, "Oh, you're complaining about it? Fine, we're done. I'm not going to waste my money."
Yeah.
No, but he kept trying. That really shows his love.
Yeah, yeah. So interesting.
Wow. Okay. Well, when we really want something, and this was a great example, the 3 steps of asking we talked about this week: ask, believe, and receive. But your ask, knowing what you want, clearly you know what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's as simple as to feel loved, and your gratitude allowed that to come in. But what about if there's other things, needs that something you'd really like to have, but you don't have yet? What's your ask? How do you explain that to somebody?
Mm.
For me, it takes courage because I'm not right out there
Yes.
with I need such and so. But I have to kind of know for myself first and really figure out what exactly do I want. Because
Yeah.
the nebulous, I just want to feel better,
Mhm.
doesn't usually get me what I want.
Well, sometimes I have to think, well, is it really within their power to give me what I want? Or is it something that I have to change my perspective of it?
Uh-huh. Something you need to
Yep.
look at
Yeah, because maybe it's not something that is really going to come from that area. Maybe it's something to change
from
within.
inside.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I go there first and say, okay, well, is this really realistic? Or am I saying I'm not happy or I'm not getting what I want because of X, Y, or Z instead of, looking at it differently?
Right. So I guess the first step would be to see if it is a reasonable ask. And
Yeah.
if it's an ask that needs to be realized from without, or if it's
Mhm.
an ask that you could do from within.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that would make it more clear. You'd have clarity on it for what to do with your ask. All right. So if we do the ask that way, then the second step is believe that you can receive it. And I love this principle. Do you really believe you can receive what it is that you want? Do you feel like you're worthy of it? Do you feel like you deserve it? Do you feel like it's something you really could have? Have you guys ever had an example or a time in your life where you really wanted something, but didn't really think you could have it?
Well, I'm sure. I just don't remember it right off my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that believing that you're worthy to have what it is that you really want, that
Mhm.
desire, whether that desire is a new dishwasher or that desire is a new partner, it doesn't, whatever it is, that
Right.
believing.
Right. Well, we had like when I was pregnant with my first son, who just turned 40.
Whoa.
Um,
When your baby turns 40, there
oh
you go.
my gosh, that's crazy. But uh we were in the process of we wanted to get out of my in-laws' basement.
Uh-huh.
And so we found this townhouse that was just, oh my gosh, I wanted it so bad. I wanted it so bad, but it wasn't like within our price range. And um it just really pushed the envelope. It would have, and I just kept wanting it so bad. We looked at other apartments, we looked
But
at
your
this,
heart
we
was
looked at
there.
that. And it was interesting because as I went to the Lord in prayer about it, it was just this, just ask. Tell them what you can afford. Tell them. And so we met with the owners of this, it was a triplex, and he just he listened to us and met us, and he's like, I really want you guys to have one of these.
Oh,
Let's make it work. Right.
uh-huh.
And I think for me that was just a huge turning point on if I really do want it. And sometimes it's a no.
Well, sometimes it's a no,
But
but when you went to the Lord, you kind of knew that opened the door, right? You could have it if you wanted it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Or just at least try. Just
Yeah,
at least ask, right?
yeah,
Just at least ask. If you
yeah,
don't ask, the answer is always no. And I think oftentimes that gives us the courage to just just say, if I don't ask, the always no.
yeah. The answer,
So
yeah, the
what
door
does it
never
hurt to
opens unless
ask?
you ask. Yeah, just ask. That was
Yeah,
a great
yeah,
story.
yeah.
I love it. Well, ask and then believe. And then the
Mhm.
third step is receiving. And Jen's told us a lot about receiving. Well, what do you think about the idea? This is my favorite line in this particular article. Um, if you're craving a McDonald's hamburger, you won't find it at Wendy's.
True, true.
I loved
What's
that.
that got
Yes.
to do with receiving, though? What do you think? If you're craving a McDonald's hamburger, you won't find it at Wendy's.
Don't go looking for what you really want somewhere else because you're not
Exactly.
going to find it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that line. But it reminds me of Jen's practice, that practice of being a good receiver. You put yourself in the place to receive, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I had a really good friend when we were both young adults who wanted to be married in the worst way. But the place she kept looking for her husband was at the bar. She'd go hang out at the bar and she'd bring home some guy and she'd date him for a couple of weeks and he'd be a dud. And over and over and over, this was the pattern. And I remember having a conversation at one point. She's like, maybe I'm just going to be single forever. And I said, well, where are you looking? Do you want a man who regularly hangs out at the bar? Because what she wanted was a family man who would raise her children.
Oh,
So,
wow.
like,
Yeah.
so where do family men who raise children hang out? You got to look where the people that you are looking for hang out on the regular. And I feel like it's kind of the same way with our thoughts. When we want to receive something, like we want to receive peace or we want to
Mm-hmm.
receive optimism, you got to hang out in those thoughts in order to create what you want or to receive what you want,
Mhm.
you know? Have you
Absolutely.
had, yeah, experiences like that? Anything in your receiving? I mean, I know for me, if I'm hanging out in the place of ugly thoughts, all I receive is ugliness.
Oh, I know. And
It's not
yeah,
a happy life.
I think I mean, like for me, if I don't want anxiety, if I'm going through a hard time and I seem to have more of like my anxiety is more,
Right. You have more anxious feelings and
yeah,
yeah.
don't have me watch an action movie.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
right.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just going to be through the roof. So it's like, you know, instead I want to do calming things, or I just kind of want to avoid those things that are like would hype me up, so to
Yeah.
speak. So, I mean, like to you, like what you were saying, if you're looking for peaceful thoughts,
Yeah.
don't watch a murder mystery, or don't watch, something on YouTube about people complaining. I mean, if you want peace in your life, search where you would find peace.
Right. You got to go to the place where peace hangs out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just like you can't find
Right.
husband in a place where
Wayne
husbands don't
Dyer,
hang out.
yeah, Wayne Dyer taught that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
In, he talked a lot about you get what you're looking for.
Mhm.
And if you're, if you're looking for peace, well, you have to look in the right places. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to put yourself in those spots, and yeah.
And I think if you're trying to be that person that's looking for that, you got to surround yourself by those type of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, those people who are encouraging, those people who aren't going to all of a sudden pick you to death or, complain and things like that. So
Yeah, that where those people would receive the same thing you're wanting to receive.
kind of back like with your friend who was trying to find a family man at a bar.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Surround yourself
And
with
eventually
those.
she found a family man at work where a lot of family men were supporting their families, and it worked really well. But yeah, it's just ask, believe, receive. Yeah, it's a really good way to do it. Thanks, you guys. But oh my gosh, I just want to zip through the events to get to the weekend. Okay, so
Yeah.
real quick. Tomorrow is Coaching Clear, and everybody knows how great Coaching Clear is. And then Wednesday is book club. And how are we doing with book club? What are we reading this month?
Oh, Jen, can you look at it? I can't.
Jen, help us. Jacene's driving.
Yeah. I actually started listening to it, and I just got it in the mail today, and it is called It's Not Your Fault by Alex Howard.
Oh, that sounds like a good book.
Trauma shapes you and how to break free.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good.
How did we choose this book? What happened?
So choosing this book, one of the people at book club has been working with childhood trauma, and her psychologist told her, you need to read this book, and then we're going to talk about it when you come back. And I said, why don't we all read it together? Because she was struggling reading it by herself. She's like, what if I use book club? I'm more confident talking to my counselor, and so that's how we chose it, which I think is beautiful.
Yes.
Because it's such a loving group, and the conversations that we have there they're amazing.
Yeah, so supportive and so helpful, right? Yeah, I love that. I'm going to have to get the book. I mean, that just sounds wonderful. Yeah, really good. Okay, so that's Wednesday. Then Thursday, we start a new monthly theme for coach training. It will be compassion for ourselves and for others. And we read Christopher Germer's book on compassion real early in the year. But this year, this month, we're going to do Kristen Neff's and her take on compassion and work with that. And we'll be working on compassion all month long here as well with the podcast, and developing that self-love and the ways to ask, believe, receive for ourselves, but then also to do that for other people and to create a compassionate response to share the love that we would like to have. And so I think it's going to be a really, really good month for study. But then, drum roll, Saturday is the what's your word or your one word workshop. Jen, I'm so stoked. Yes, please tell.
Well, it's such a good practice to help your awareness and your focus for your whatever personal development or personal change you're trying to do, to kind of have a theme throughout the year. So it's a prayerful and pondering time, either before the workshop or at the workshop, where you you asked your creator to help you have like that word theme for your year for 2024, and how it's going to show up in your life, and how is it going to show up as you try and embody that word in your life. And you'll be surprised what words speak to you and which don't. So come with a bunch of words, or I'm going to have some words and you can choose. And if you don't feel totally comfortable with the word, that's okay. It'll come. Ask. That's why I say prayerfully and ponder and ask for your creator to help you get that theme for 2024. And then we're going to sit down and create a vision page in your vision book, or pages, however you want to do, of that word, what that word feels and looks like to you right now, and what you want it to possibly morph into or change throughout the year. And so you just kind of put it down in words and in picture form, for those of us who are very visual, on your vision book. And then throughout the year, we're going to have kind of touch-ins where we will do another page, or we'll see how we're doing with that, with our word, and how it's showing up in your life. It's been a very strong, a very important part of my personal development over the past, gosh, how many times I've been doing it since.
I think it's been 4 or 5 years now.
4 or 5 years, yes.
Yeah.
And you see as things happen in your life, even as the year progresses, how it changes, or how when things happen, the Lord will help you understand possibly that this word is coming to fruition in your life.
Yeah.
And it teaches you with that, and you'll see how it's in your thoughts and in your studies and everything. It's just wonderful if you take the time to have it in front of you throughout the year. And we're going to try and do those little workshops to help that throughout the year, so you can have that in front of you. But I just love this. I love this practice, but I understand it's not for everybody. So if it is for you, please come, and we will get the what am I trying to say? The list of what you need for it.
Oh, the materials
Supply
list.
list.
Material
Yeah,
list.
supply
I
list.
have a supply list that I made up on Eventbrite. It's being hosted through Eventbrite. And if you go to Eventbrite and you search online events for your one word, it comes right up. It's at the top of the list.
Mhm.
So your one word on Eventbrite. And if you want to look at it, Jen, and we can edit and
I'm
change
sure
it.
it's good.
I'm just what I used last year.
Okay, good. And the only other thing I would add to that is, if you are not a cut and paste old school like I am, and you would rather do a electronic thing, there are vision board apps. So if that's,
I know Hay House has one.
Yeah, go ahead and download a vision board app and do it that way. But Beth has a really great practice. She actually makes it her screensaver on her computer.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing.
It's so fun. I just love it because I've got a good size monitor, and my I use an 18x24 notebook that I make it in because I like big. And then when you open it up, I just take a picture with my iPad, stick it on my background. It's fabulous.
So cool.
And I use that until the next time we do another one, which it looks like maybe it'll be quarterly or thereabouts, that we'll be able to get together and work on them. I like the idea of a touch in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a touch in. That's cool. So that's coming Saturday, and it's going to be fantastic. So we hope everybody will come and go to Eventbrite, sign up. It's limited seating, and so we want to make sure that people can get in. So just go sign up on Eventbrite. If you have any questions, check in on 50/50 and we'll help you get in. No problems. It's been so good. Thank you, guys. And thank you, JC, even in the middle of all your travels.
Oh my word. Hey.
If I wake up with a bad attitude, I fill my mind with gratitude. I give thanks for everything, with every little thought I think. I can choose to be happy, choose to be free, moment by moment. It's all up to me, 'cause what I think about, I bring about. That's the way it is, and there is no doubt. Day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think.
Hey, thanks for joining us today in A Creator-Based Life. I hope you felt that compassion, mindfulness, and hope you came seeking today. You can find more of it at cmhcoaching.com, or on Linktree/CMH Coaching. Of course, any social media outlet, we're there too. Because you felt the benefit and light in this message, please invite those you care deeply about to join us. Help us to create a ripple effect across the globe of compassion, mindfulness, and hope. Then we can create a creator-based life together. Have a great week, y'all. We'll talk to you soon.
Choose to be happy, choose to be free, moment by moment. It's all up to me, 'cause what I think about, I bring about. That's the way it is, and there is no doubt. Day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think. Day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think. Whoa.